So hello everyone, this is Hiran. So welcome to the YouTube channel. So you already know we have started the subject that is the software engineering. We have covered up the chapter number 1. We have started the chapter number 2. That is the software process. Okay, so we have seen the basic of the software processes, different types of software processes, generic software process framework, layered architecture, and all the things. So let's talk about exactly about the previous video. So if you haven't seen that video, so kindly go to that and see the video of. So in the previous video we have seen the quality of the software process, as we are repeatedly focusing on the software process, because the more mature the software process is, ultimately the more mature and the more quality product will be. So this is the rule: the more mature process you will follow, the more quality product you will be delivering. So for that we have seen the what are the problems occurs where there is a no strictly followment of any software process, or if they are if any organization is following the software process, but that is not the quality process, so ultimately the end result will not be the quality product, right? So we have seen about that is like the concerns with the immature software organizations, like they are the IT company, they are the organization, but they are not mature because they either not following the software process. If they are following the software process but they are not following it properly, okay, the processes are not implemented properly. So for that we have seen the CMM level architecture, that is defined by Software Engineering Institute, SEI. So SEI has defined the CMM level, that is a name is a capability maturity model. It has the 5 levels: CMM level 1, CMM level 2, CMM level 3, CMM level 4, and CMM level 5. As we have seen, CMM level 1 organization are very much less mature. They are hardly follow any software processes, while in the case of CMM level 5 company, they are very much mature. They are constantly improving their software processes to deliver the end result, to deliver the quality product. We have taken the examples like CMM level 5 companies like TCS, Tech Mahindra, Infosys. These are the CMM level 5 company. They are very much well managed. They are very much mature. They apart from this, they constantly want to improve their software process to improve their quality result. Okay, so this was the basic thing we have seen up till now. So into the next, yes, we have seen that in the level 1, CMM level 1, the software will be more characterized as ad hoc and occasionally even chaotic. Similar, the few processes are defined and the success depends on the individual effort. Yes, the team efforts are very much less in the case of CMM level 1, while in the case of CMM level 2, basic project management processes are established to track the course, schedule, and the functionality, while in the case of CMM level 3, the software processes for both management and engineering activities documented, standardized, and integrated into the standard software process. Okay, and CMM level 4, detailed measures of software process and product quality are collected. So these are the very much basic things. All these things are going about, right? So and the final, the CMM level 5, like the, yes, they are very much well mature still. They have the continuous process improvement is enabled by the quantitative feedback from the process and from piloting the innovative ideas and the technologies, right? So next, we are seeing the probability of the schedule and the budget. Probability of the schedule and the budget. So let me zoom it for you, right? You can see that. So we will be comparing all this thing. We'll be comparing all this thing regarding to the all the CMM level companies, like, so the profitability of schedule and the budget. Okay, so what exactly this term is all about, the schedule and the budget? Okay, so as we have described, that is a software process. We have defined the generic software process framework, which have the first number one, that is your communication. Then you had the planning. Okay, the communication involves the communication with the client, communication with the client from which you are getting the software requirement or the software project, right? So you will gather the communication properly, you will store it into a document. We are calling it a SRS document. Now the next important thing is, it's like a scheduling in the terms of, let's say, uh, according to, yeah, like you have captured the requirement, according to you have captured the requirement. On the basis of that, you have to prepare a project plan. Okay, let's say you have captured the requirement for any particular software, like then you have to prepare a software plan, like how many months your project will do. Let's say you have to prepare, like on the first week, uh, the first you have to identify, uh, let's say if you are identify the technology, you have to identify the platform. Let's say if you are getting the software, you have to identify, let's say you want to go into the Java, you want to go with the .NET, you want to go with the Python. According to that, you have to identify the technical expert. Let's say someone is expert in Python, someone is tech expert in this particular technology. So this is the first thing, you have to identify the technology, and according to that, you have to identify the technical experts. Also, you have to identify the number of resources you need. So here I'm talking about the resources. I mean, they're talking about resources in the terms of number of persons. Here I'm talking about in the terms of resources. I'm talking about in the term of number of persons. Okay. So according to the requirement, according to the length of the project, and according to the time, you have to identify, like this project will take a 5 persons to work. Okay, so when you get the project from any client, you will have always be the deadline. Let's say a client wants to complete this project in a 1 month or a 2 month, or let's say 6 months. So according to the requirement and with the timeline, according to the requirement and with the timeline, you have to identify the technology, you have to identify the number of resources in the terms of persons, like how many persons will going to work in this project. So this is the first thing exactly, right? And now the next step is, you have to prepare the plan. Let's say that your timeline, your deadline for the particular project from your clients is 6 months. Then you have to prepare a project plan, exactly the project plan, like let's say in the first month, in the first week, on the first day of the Monday, what are the tasks to be defined. Okay, you have to define, like, oh, in this week we'll be completing this much and we'll reach to the next target. In the next week we will be completing this much and we will reach to the next target. In the third week this one, fourth week, fifth week, sixth week, you have to set up the milestones. These are called the milestones is nothing but the achievement, small achievement you have to set up in a 1 week, in a 2 week, in a 4 weeks, in a 8 weeks, and the 10 weeks. So it is not only like you have to define only the milestones, you have to achieve that. Let's say if you are planning to complete your project into the 6 months, because 6 months is your deadline. So you have prepared the plan. So if you want to complete that project into within the timeline, within the deadline, you have to strictly follow that timeline, like strictly follow each and every of your milestone. If you have defined that in the first week I want to complete a login module, then you have to have complete a login module irrespective of anything, right? If you are, let's say, not completing the login module, that delay will be postponed to the next milestone, to the next week. If there any delay in the next week, that delay will be transferred to the third week, fourth week, sixth week, and the nth week. Ultimately, at the end of the 6 month, you are not able to complete the project. You are not able to complete the project. Okay, so this is where the proper planning and proper execution of that planning that comes into the picture. Okay, so the major important thing is that, what if What if, let's say, the client has given you the deadline. Let's say, I want to complete this project into the 6 months, and if you are not able to complete that project into 6 months, uh, it can be anything. Like it can be, depends on the contract you have signed with your client. Either you have to pay the penalty, even you have to refund all of your money to your client, right? So you won't get any money, or if you're getting a money, you have to pay the penalty. Okay, so this is the real-time scenario that has happened with the HDFC and the Wipro. The Wipro is a very big organization. In the, if you know the name, the Wipro was somewhat late on delivering the product to one of the bank. So in the causes of that, a Wipro has to pay so much amount of money in the crores of money to as a penalty, right? So this is the thing in the real time scenario. This is how the industry works. Okay, so this was all about the importance about the scheduling, not only the scheduling, but the execution of the scheduled plans. Okay, now next comes to the budget. Okay, so how to define a budget of your project? Let's say you are gathering the requirement. Let's say the project will take the 6 months. Let's say the project will be taking the 6 months. Okay, it's fine. You have identified the number of resources. Let's say the six persons will be working in the particular project. So it the budget can be categorized into the two ways, either the hourly basis or in the fixed price. Let's say if you are going into the hourly basis, then on the one person, let's say if you're allocating a one person, so one person you will be allocating let's say 8 hours a day, and you will be paying a 500 per hours, then 4,000 rupees per day, and the similarly a 1 lakh rupees per month, and the 6 lakh rupees for 6 months for a person. So this is how the budget is calculated per hourly. Again, I'm telling, the budget can be categorized into the two ways. The first one is a hourly basis, and the second one is a fixed price. In the hourly basis, you will be giving the hourly charges to the client. Let's say if you are only a one person working on a project, and you will define your hourly charge, like I will take 500 rupees per hour. I will take 500 rupees per hour. Then if I'm working 8 hours a day, then 8 cross 5 are the 4,000 rupees. So I will earn 4,000 rupees per day. Similarly, per day in the week, like 5 days a week, 4 5 are 20,000 a week, and in the month you will have the 4 weeks, so 80,000 a month. If the project will go to the 6 month, the 80,000 a month, and it will be around the 4 lakh and 80,000 rupees. So your budget will be around the 5 lakh rupees. This is the one thing you can define a budget into the hourly basis. Okay, because you already have defined the plan for the 6 months. Okay, now the fixed price. Next comes to the fixed price. In the fixed price, there is no hourly charges. Let's say if you are getting a requirement, you will get the deadline, or you have to say to the client, let's say this project will take a 3 months of time, and you have to pay this much of amount. Let's say the $1,000, $2,000, and $3,000. Okay, so this is the two types of way the budget will work. So we are looking at the comparison of the scheduling and the planning in the case of all the CMM levels and the CMM level 1. You can see the schedule and the cost targets are typically overrun by level 1 organization. Yes, level 1 organization rarely follow the schedule, so ultimately the budget plan will also be the restricted. In the case of level 2, plans based on the past performance are more realistic in the level 2 organization. The level 2 organizations are much more experienced, so they will plan their budget according to their past experience. In the level 3, with a well-defined processes, performance improves in the level 3 organization. Yes, we know that. In the level 4, based on the quantitative understanding of the process and the product, performance continues to improve in the level 4 organization. And in the level 5, performance continuously evolves into the level 5 organization. So what we are focusing into the ultimately, like in the level one companies, they does not much care about the process and the budget and the plan. Their budget are random. They are not following the plan. They just get the project. They are like, it might be possible the project will take a 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month. It is not fixed that. So ultimately the budget is not fixed. Obviously they are not going to get the good projects. Okay. So this is the comparison between the different types of levels for the this budget. Okay. So uh, this is exactly about the CMM level. Now uh, this is exactly the more important for, as we are defining the key activities that are performing onto the different levels, like the key activities. So in the level 1, yes, we know that there is not much any activity, while in the case of level 2, they perform the software configuration management, software quality assurance, software subcontract management, software project tracking and oversight, software project planning and requires management. Okay, so these are the activities you have seen in the umbrella activity, right? This you have seen the umbrella activity. These are the processes. So until now, what we have seen, let's say the level 2 organization follows the proper processes. So in the processes, what it will be going to be there. So these are the things going to be there into the level 2 companies, like they will follow the software configuration management. It will come to the later chapter. Software quality assurance, we have already defined, like a testing a project, testing a product. And the software subcontract management, like you are defining a contract, you are managing the contract. Software project tracking, you're doing the planning and you are also tracking the plan. Software project planning, yes, if we have defined that and requires management. So these are the key activities performed at the CMM level 2 companies, while in the case of CMM level 3, these are the peer-to-peer reviews, intergroup coordination, software product engineering, integrated software management, training program, organization process definitions, organization focus, process focus. Okay, so let us go one by one. That is a peer-to-peer review. So what does it exactly mean? Uh, let's say if you are in a, so up till now we'll be covering up to this thing. We'll see more into the next chapter. So thank you very much for watching a video. We'll see in the next chapter. Thank you very much.